Hi everyone, my name is Kris Vyas. I am a senior in the botany department. Dr. Root asked me if I could do a video for you guys talking about my experience trying to find work and how I've been able to get jobs in the botanical field. So a little bit of background about myself. I am from El Paso, Texas, a little border town, and then moved up to Utah about 14 years ago. And so been around the desert for a while and I've always had an interest in it. My start in botany really started right after high school when I had a friend going up to Utah State University, told me that there were job opportunities looking at plants, and I loved the biology class that I had and was really interested in our floriculture class, doing the plant identification and doing all that fun stuff. And I had no idea that that could potentially be a field opportunity of career choice. And so I went up there, met with the Intermountain Herbarium people, the curator Time Michael Peep, and the director Mary Barkworth. And they usually, if you meet old people in the field, they're usually really gung ho about young people because there's kind of a die off within our field in the mid '80s. So there's kind of a gap in age that occurred. And so going there, they're really interested just to have people doing things. They're trying to create projects, little things to keep me interested, which I'm really glad they did because that kept me encouraged to continue on into the degree field. Instead of choosing up there, sadly, which I did make a good network of colleagues up there being able to be in that herbarium so frequently. I chose Weber State because we do have a botany degree, and I wanted that title. Um, while still going to school the first semester, the first year of college, I was commuting up there about 2 to 3 times a week, just be able to keep up and relevant in the field that I was heavily starting to get invested to. Early classes I recommend for you guys to take that really shows up amazingly on your resume would be, it also depends on what you're going for. If you're going for a more ecology route or soils, definitely make sure you have those classes taken because it looks a lot better on your resume. But when they're hiring, usually I notice that they at least want most botanists to have a general plant identification quality in them. And so I highly recommend taking the Intermountain Flora class or the plant taxonomy class that's offered during the summers usually. Those usually stand out better because it shows that you're able to identify the plants in the field, which is becoming a more rare skill set that we've seen nowadays in field technicians. And so back to the networking part of things, while I was taking classes there and still commuting, my friend told me that we should go to a Native Plant Society meeting. Generally, all states have a Native Plant Society or some sort of regional group that meet together and just present their findings. I highly recommend all of you guys going to at least one or two of these things because you're not only finding out what research is being done in your state, but also being able to read with the regional botanists from different districts to see like who's doing what and what research and what's being done currently on our landscape. And so you might find out about certain projects that might interest you, or you might even find out about a job opportunity you might be interested in, which that's actually what happened to me when I was at the Park City Conservation meeting. I met my past boss now. I met him there. Just I was looking at him mustard. He came up to me and asked me what it was. I told him what I thought, and he right then and there offered me a job. So I got really fortunate with that interaction. I actually worked for them for 4 years. And in jobs like that, actually, it was with a heritage program, specifically heritage programs. You get a lot of interagency cooperation happening since we're dealing with plants that are threatened and rare. And so we get a lot of grant money coming in from these different sources. So we are able to meet with different like district officers from the BLM or Forest Service and meet with these people, find out why are we getting funding for this, what are they trying to do with it, and you might even figure out some projects you want to do along the way also. And it also gives you an ability to find out where you can get funding for these projects. If you're interested in a question that has implications to range management and forestry, you're more likely to get grant money from those agencies because your research is impacting them potentially. And so after working with the Utah Heritage Program for about 4 years, I kind of got tired of the state personally. I just felt like I saw a lot of it and wanted to explore more. So I went looking on job boards and actually sent Dr. Root the list job boards that I personally use and found that other people use as well. The one I think I put on top that I encourage everyone to use is Texas A&M job board. There is a plethora of jobs on there ranging from institutions to consulting agencies to government agencies. And you'll usually find all sorts of jobs on there, ranging from needing people with plant taxonomy skills or soil surveys, doing soil pit surveys. And so I definitely recommend all of you guys to look over that list and set up accounts on set up an account on USA Jobs, because if you're trying to apply to a government agency position, chances are they are going to make you have to apply through there. So it's it feels like it takes forever, but it is worth doing because a lot of the national parks, especially national parks, they hire specifically through that. Let's see here. Got my notes right there. Oh yes. After Utah, I went up to Oregon State University. I worked with Oregon State University on their rangeland management. It was called the Eastern Oregon Rangeland Center out in Burns, and they do a lot of outreach and public interest because they do a lot of range management there. And so what I was doing was mainly it was called the ROS project. So we're trying to correlate vegetation data with rangeland weather stations, and so we can see based off of weather potentially what the landscape would be acting like if you'd have an increase in bunch grasses potentially, or die off of that, see a more increase in shrubs potentially, and that was a big part of the project. But with that, we were able to at that place you had USDA people there and Nature Conservancy, so you're able to get these different angles of, and what's the word I'm looking for? People of interest, pretty much just getting these different ideas, being able to bounce them off each other and help create a better methodology for your projects. And you also get to find out who's doing what. I was able to meet one of the rangeland people that's doing a lot of research on fire ecology, another person from fire ecology with juniper encroachment specifically. Another person was doing songbird studies and sage-grouse obligates. And so, yeah, just going through to these different jobs, you're able to build a bigger network and find out what more research is being done in the field and create your own ideas. Let's see here. When going back to looking for jobs, I really recommend using all those job boards. You can even set up notifications on your phone on it to get emails about when certain areas are hiring or certain positions that fit keywords that you set up. Those are really useful. Things to add to beef up your resume, classes that you've had. I highly recommend, if you hear about professors doing research, ask to volunteer for a little bit. You might get some good experience. You might get hired on potentially, or you have something to add to your resume that shows that you've done not just have classes taken in the realm of the subject, but have actually done work that makes you more qualified to get these jobs in the long run. Let's see, let's see here. What not to do. What not to do. Things that I recommend not doing is probably the most important is don't have your heart set on one job, because if you do, then you're holding out on all these other job opportunities that are coming out, and you might not get the job you want, and then you end up towards the end of a field season with no job, and you're scrambling to just find anything, which puts you in a real stressful situation, which I don't recommend. Things I'd also things to expect when going through the job hunt is USA Jobs, government agencies do take kind of a while to get back to you, mainly because they have to go through so many loopholes to hire you on. You have to pass federal background checks, state background checks to see if you're qualified to do certain things. They just have a lot more tedious process of hiring. So forewarning, when you go for those agency positions, they usually take longer to hear back from. So if it's been like a month or two, that's pretty consistent with their hiring process, especially even longer now. Don't be afraid to email also these people when you see job postings that don't have that much detail about the job. Definitely, I always recommend reaching out to these people to find out more information about it. They would tell you that possibly even if you would be a good fit for it, like, oh yes, definitely, please apply for this. Or you might find out that this is a job you really don't want to do, and you should probably not do it. Could go either way. And other things are some people are kind of crappy to work with. It's pretty much with all jobs. This you have to be more flexible with because you will be in remote areas for extended periods of time with these people. So being able to like let go of little things or like de-stress are skills to really keep in mind because at the end of the day, you're stuck with these people for 8 days sometimes and you got to get the job done. And that's pretty much the majority of what I had to speak about. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me. Dr. Root has my email. And yeah, hope you guys are all staying safe out there and hope you guys get some good jobs. Hope to see you around in the field someday. Bye.